Welcome to Max and Pax's March of Roman Pride, which is a story written by myself that will help us learn about Roman culture. Specifically, focusing on the question, how did architecture in ancient Rome make the Roman people feel about themselves, their identity as a Roman people, their city, and also what would make a Roman citizen feel proud to be Roman? It's a big question that a lot of times we don't get to focus on when just reading about these big monuments in textbooks or just translating Latin. But this story will really help us get in the shoes of the ancient Romans. So now that we know what we're getting into, let's begin our journey. Max and Pax's March of Roman Pride by me, Edythe Malara. The army is returning home victoriously. Max's family is at the triumph. Here's a drawing of a Roman family, and here's little Max, one of our stars of the story. And for those of you that are thinking to yourself, all right, so Max's family is at the triumph. What is a triumph? What would it have been like for his family to be there? Well, triumph was when the Roman army had come back into Rome, and it happened after a huge win, and everybody would come to see them. It was a big celebration for a military victory, and Ben-Hur has a great reenactment of what it would have been like to be there and to see what it was. There's the emperor, the army, you can hear the roar of the crowd. The people are very proud. Skipping this so you could see the crowd in the background. See them waving their arms. Now, yes, that is a movie, but the crowds would have gone wild like that, and it would have been super elaborate because the Romans really respected and revered their army. During the triumph, Max noticed how proud everyone was to be Roman. He turned to Mater and Pater and asked, "Why do we feel so proud to be Roman?" Max's parents decided that an explanation simply wouldn't answer Max's question in a meaningful manner. Mater said, "Little Maximus, to answer your question, Pater and I have invented a path for a triumph of your own. You'll walk, see monuments, and afterwards we believe you will understand why we are all proud to be Roman." Max set out early the next morning. He brought along his best friend for the journey, Pax, his loyal dog. The first stop was the Roman Forum for the Umbilicus Urbis Romae, rising high with a stone base and a cone shape. Now I want to take a moment to focus on Pax. Pax in Latin means peace. And this dog breed, this specific dog breed that you're looking at, actually is a breed from the ancient Romans that is still around today. This dog right here is a descendant of the Canis pugnax, meaning in Latin, the dog fighter. So, thought it was appropriate that Pax was a nice Roman dog. Now for the Umbilicus Urbis Romae. Well, let's think about the Latin before we dive into exploring the Umbilicus Urbis Romae. Umbilicus is the nominative singular second declension masculine word for belly button. Now we remember nominative means it's the subject of the sentence. Urbis is the genitive singular third declension, and urbis is feminine. Quite literally, urbis means of the city. Romae is the genitive singular first declension feminine word, literally meaning of Rome. And altogether, Umbilicus urbis Romae means belly button of the city of Rome. We have our nominative, umbilicus, the subject, and two genitives, urbis and Romae, so of the city of Rome. So what does this mean, belly button of the city of Rome? This means that Rome was the center of the world. So how would this monument, the Umbilicus urbis Romae, make Max and Pax feel? Why would Mater and Pater send Max and Pax to this spot on their triumph? Well, let's continue the story to find out. This was the center of Rome, and this instantly registered in the pair's mind that since this was the center of Rome, this was the center of the entire world. Max began to feel so proud that he was living in a city that was the location of the center of everything else. It made Max feel like he was involved in a people known as the leaders. Max and Pax were leaders of the world because they were Roman. And this is exactly what the Roman people thought. Now this picture on the left are the ruins of the Umbilicus urbis Romae. The picture on the right is a generation of what we think it looked like. So now I'm going to show you exactly in the world where the Umbilicus urbis Romae is. So we know that it's in Rome, which is right here in Italy. Here's my favorite part of the world, the Mediterranean. So let's go into Italy. Head into Rome. And there it is, smack dab, Umbilicus urbis. So if we scan out a little bit, we'll see that it's right here, the Roman Forum. Let's drag our little guy right down. You can do this right at home. Let's bring it right down to the level of the Umbilicus urbis Romae. So this is what you see today. These fine people. Very close by, and also in the Forum, was their second stop, Militiadium Audeum. Militiadium means milestone in Latin, and Audeum means gold in Latin. Therefore, we have the golden milestone. This was the spot all roads began from and led to. And this is a recreation of what we believe it would look like according to Latin texts describing it. How would this monument make Max and Pax feel? Well, seeing the tall, shimmering bronze column intensified the pride Max felt for Rome because it was further evidence to him that Rome was really the center of everything. As we have all heard, all roads lead to Rome. Near the Militiadium Audeum, exactly 506 feet away, was the third stop, the Temple of Castor and Pollux. And here it is right here, this one with 3 remaining columns. But who are Castor and Pollux? Here they are, Castor, Pollux, Castor, Pollux. They were twin brothers. Their mother was Leda. Castor's father was the king of Sparta, but Pollux's father was Eupator. Therefore, Castor was mortal and Pollux was immortal. So, Eupator transformed them into the Gemini constellation. So, Castor and Pollux are behind the story of the Gemini constellation. Castor and Pollux are often associated with horses and horsemanship. Castor and Pollux have a temple in the Forum because they predicted a major victory for the Roman military. And remember the triumph. Why did triumphs happen? Because the Roman military was so well thought of by the Roman people. So if Castor and Pollux helped the Roman military win, this was a big deal to the Romans. How would this monument, the temple to Castor and Pollux, make Max and Pax feel? Upon seeing the columns standing tall, Max and Pax felt admiration and respect for Eupator and his sons. They felt proud visiting this temple of the divine sons because they had successfully predicted a Roman military victory, augmenting more strong feelings of Roman pride. Yeah, that's how they were feeling. The next site, a mile away on the Via Sacra, was a half an hour walk. The tremendous Arch of Titus stopped the marchers in their tracks. The pair was impressed, but then they strolled under the arch and were even more awed. Underneath, the display of the Roman army conquering the Jewish people engraved into Max's mind as the images were engraved in the stone. The Roman army was a dominating one. And right here we know that the Arch of Titus was a triumphal arch after the Roman army conquered the Jewish people, because we can see the Romans here carrying their loot of war, their rewards, what they stole from the Jewish people. We know that it was the Jewish people because of the menorah right here. Now the Via Sacra is near the Colosseum in Rome. All you had to do to find Via Sacra on Google Earth is to go here to the magnifying glass, type in Via Sacra, and it took me to the same spot, but it takes you right to the ancient Via Sacra. Now we are looking for the Arch of Titus. Now if you notice here, as soon as the Piazza Santa Maria Nuova moves, okay, so now, so we have two arches. One here and one here. We do need to find out which one is the Arch of Titus. So you can go right back over here to the magnifying glass, type in Arch of Titus. It says it's on the Via Sacra, so we're in the right place. Up, there it is, right there. So let's zoom. There we go. Arco di Tito, right there. If we click that, it tells us all about it. Now, I want to try and get a nice person, so maybe we can see underneath. Seeing it underneath in person is just so much more than a textbook or even this video. I remember standing right here. Okay, this is actually a really great view from Google Earth. You can see underneath the Arch of Titus. So imagine you're Max and Pax, you're walking by it. You see how tall it is, you see how magnificent it is, and then you walk under it and you see these beautiful friezes. Well, they considered them beautiful because they were friezes, meaning they were engraved in stone, images engraved in stone that were depicting, in this case, triumph in battle. And you can see the menorah. I don't know if I can zoom. Oh, perfect. You can see the menorah right there in that past image I showed you. This concludes our first episode of Max and Pax's March of Roman Pride. Volete discepoli.